I'm back again. I'm sorry about the internet. I don't know what's happening. I believe the script for this, by the way, actually faded it in. I believe the script changes the color. So as it accelerates, it does that. Turns into the blurred version. I hope you can all appreciate what a massive pain in the bum this is. Oh, it says that's done, but there's no way that's the no. It's not refinery. This is the vat biomass vat. Yeah, biomass vat. No, that wasn't the right. Let's be honest. So I might just bring the sky up a little bit more, just to. What the hell's going on? I'm gonna. Oh, I don't have it installed on this machine, do I? Haha. I was gonna up. Oh, it is. That is upscale. That already is 4K. Oh wow. Okay. Right, really? Okay. Well, let me make sure I never use that one. Is that really? Is that really a 4K texture? It says it is. Not that it was done very well. I remember when we first got this, I was amazed at the quality of this model. Just the sheer amount of detail and everything just looks properly awesome. And now you're like, that's all right. I'm doing a lot of decal work, which will help. And we'll start. I hope to break up some of the. I won't say the bad mapping, but like Andy and Todd did this a decade ago, and as might surprise anyone, people get better at doing stuff. Now this is where I don't think the specular maps are going to be working yet, which is annoying. Um, and this is something I haven't had a look at yet. Which is what I want is I want that to be so. I can make the whole thing shiny and reflective. That's fine. I mean, not doing a very good job of that. But I actually want the glass to be shiny and reflective. So that's where I would use a specular map. A specular map is nothing more than shiny where it be shiny, but not shiny where it shouldn't be. Easy peasy. But that doesn't seem to be working. Now I need to work. There was a thing about twizzling inputs. Yeah, swizzle. So I can swizzle things. Thank goodness for that. This is new. Thank goodness. But now I need to look up HDRP mask map. I don't understand, though, 100% do not understand why I cannot have four maps and then assign them together in the editor. Make my life easy, Unity. Do what people want. Yeah, so the alpha is the. If actually, it might just work if I just assign them all to be the same. Because in this particular case, alpha is. I can't really tell because there's nothing to reflect. Always with the documentation. Yeah, so they've got red for metallic, green for occlusion, blue for detail. So what I want is that texture, but just red and transparent, right? Oh, it is transparent. If I were to make the background... Wait, what? Oh, this is fun. But I don't understand why I cannot give Unity 4 maps. I just don't understand. I mean, there might be a system to do it. I'm certainly not aware of one. Unity does continually add stuff in without really telling anybody. But working on 4 different maps is really easy. If I need to now change the alpha, because the alpha is the smoothness, that becomes really difficult. Like, there are not many art packages where you can easily deal with the alpha. But I could give it 4 grayscales, one for metallic, occlusion, detail map, and smoothness. That would be easy peasy. Yeah. I mean, I can't tell if that's working. That might be working. I honestly can't tell if that's working or not. Is there any way I can quickly test? I guess I could add a... Wow. Unity is awful. Look at, I mean... Brilliant. That's making it very difficult to do anything. Can I just add one directly? Rendering? No. 3D, new. Effects? No, I don't know. Yeah, for reasons unknown, the UI has just... Well, you can see here, the UI is broken. In fact, I should probably see if there's been a new version of Unity. I'm trying to keep up to stuff. Uh, I'll open up. We are now in the second week of February, and this is Unity 2023, and it is still broken, which is terrifying that is broken. I mean, I have not got anything running here. At least I don't think I have. If I have, I don't know. This appears to be something to do with the rendering core. Yeah, light and reflections, UI Pro Drawer. I mean, I could check for... This is the thing. Unity went down this package system. The idea would be that there were all different versions of the packages, and they could do stuff and make quick updates. Yeah, that hasn't bloody happened. I mean, I'm trying to stick on the latest version I can for a while. Oh, we do have... This is the thing. We've now got... Apparently, we have now got HDRP version 16, which is only for Unity 2023.2 plus. That's not out yet. But I said I will stick with the latest version of Unity. I will sit on the bleeding edge until I can't risk breaking anymore, and then I'll set it down. I want to be as new as I can. It does say once a week. But it's amazing that we're in alpha of a 2023 package in 2023. Like, it's genuinely shocking that it's in this quality. Um, how do I? Uh, yeah, but it's a newer one. This was released a month ago. So let's just read this again, shall we? New incremental alpha iterations and features will be published once a week. The version I'm on was released a month ago. It's like you can't just well, you can, but you guys need to stop lying. Trying to beta program. Why beta testing is important? Because we get to spend less money. How do I download builds from? Download archive? Get Unity? Download for Windows? No, not just the latest. If you notice, I've now been through about 5 or 6 web pages, all of which are exactly the same, or slightly different. Hey, Max K, how you doing? Laura says hi. It's not under Get Unity, download archive or beta program. Oh, wait. Unity 2023.1b. But I don't want this one necessarily. I want whatever is the latest one. Take me to whatever is newest. Well, this is now a beta, not an alpha. Ooh. So why can I not pre-release? There we go. Goodness me, what a pain in the backside that was. Oh, we're going to update because I'm struggling a little bit because I'm running into issues. Well, like I can't draw reflection probes. It's shockingly poor QA that they've got sometimes. Anyway, that might work, and it might be that there's nothing to reflect, or I might have done something really derpy. We've no idea. Don't know why I was using that texture. I'm fixing what was. I'm not thinking about this. There's very little sort of engaging of my brain or anything. This is just simply monkey see, monkey do. But yeah, what I'll do in a minute is I'll install the new version of Unity and then I'll update to it because I've been having all sorts of just hilarious issues. It's not even funny how broken this has been. But yeah, this one's going to be a pain. So all of these used to work in a super efficient way. So we had all of these different. We had one material, all done differently via things. I don't think I can do it like that anymore. Kind of makes me sad. We had one texture across all. Let's make that at least not be broken. But I work my arse off for the performance of this game, and I have a funny feeling I'm going to struggle to achieve the same level in what cork panels. Oh, I think that was what we display if I don't know what to display. Yeah, so I think I'm going to do the same thing. I think it will be get it working, more or less, and then it's going to be a lot of work on performance, like a lot. Yeah, these are all the different bars, which currently look the same. And these were the special ones that you could override the reflections with something else. That was nice. Can't do that anymore. Well, I mean, we'll have to. Hold on, that's wrong. That doesn't have an emissive map. That's the bump map, and that's not a thing. It's kind of an orangey color. Yeah. And super reflective because it's metal. So yeah, I guess they should all be. For once, I just get to drag the metallic slider all the way up because it's made of metal. Bump map is more than a little bit subtle, isn't it? Yeah, that is vile. So that's one that could do with being upscaled. I wonder if I can get away with doing it on my other computer. Right, assets, prefabs. I love this manufacture mode. That's what survive mode is called internally. Items, ingot bump. So I've got a AI upscaler, but it's on the other computer. Yes, you may make up the chambers. Uh, so it's downloading the new what's it called? GAN something adversarial network. I can't remember what it stands for. Generative adversarial networks. Oh wow, that's done a great job. But that will be a wrong size. So I did it to 1024 by 1024. I'm just working while this is downloading on this computer. I'm just working up on that computer. I can update on this computer, and we'll get a higher resolution version of the bump map. That's how the old one looks, and that's as big as it gets. And this is the. I mean, you can see it there already. It is a little bit of magic. There you go. AI upscaling for the win. It's really good. It's really, really, really good. Boink. It's not brilliant. Like it could do with, it doesn't really understand what it's doing. If that makes sense. So I could probably do with making it a little bit nicer. But that's now readable as opposed to not. Well, in fact, you can see there. That's the high resolution one at top, and the low resolution one at the bottom. So one of them is actually readable. Let's use the high resolution one there. Bonk. Look at that. Magic. The best thing is that's less effort than getting an artist to do it because it wouldn't take that long, but it's not an engaging or interesting task. It's much better where possible to get the artist to do art things. And this is supposed to be pink. Apparently purple will do it. No, this looks like so. HDRP. I've done a little bit of work in it though. When it works, the lighting model is superb. So this is a long and boring uphill struggle. Oh no, they just cancelled all motorbike racing in Ireland. Blimey, sorry. Breaking news, I know. For reasons of insurance. But yeah, when it works, it's great. Now this is one I can't do. So this one used to use a fake cube map. Um, how hard would that be? Because this is a trick I use in a number of places to make something look shiny and reflective without actually being shiny and reflective. It's sort of all illusion. All right, let's check. Let's check it. Let's see. Already, I've altered 59 files today. Okay. Shaders. So far, I have written some shaders, 16 shaders. Shader graph, HDRP, lit shader graph, Unity, create shader graph, HRP, lit shader graph. There we go. We're going to call it lit fake cube map. Now, I don't know how to do this. And that's something that is important to note quite often, is I have to learn to do things. I don't know everything. Well, I know most things, obviously. I know about 97% of things, but this is just one of the 3% things I don't know. Shaders, Phoenix. What did I call it? Brilliant. Lit fake cube map. And then we want a diffuse, normal. I will probably want a glow. And we'll probably want a mask as well. Probably. Hey, Zebra Ux, Vo Hi Yo. I don't know what they are. They haven't worked at all on on Discord. So what we're going to do is we're going to put the fake cube map there, and then here this will have the rainbow. Now I have no idea right now how we sample a cube map. So I'm going to guess it's I'll type cube, sample cube map, right? Sample reflected cube map, and I don't even know what the difference is. Oh, well that works. What's the difference between that then and sample cube map? And why not just have a toggle on them that says do this or that? Okay, that just samples the cube map, but does, this on the hand does some sort of. How do I make this a cube? Yeah, there we go. See, that is reflecting into a fake. Put that back. I honestly can't tell what these are. This is FortressCraft 2? Yes, absolutely. That's why every. Well, just wait, let me just check. Did I change the clip of the video? This is FortressCraft 2, aka FortressCraft Phoenix. And on one of my windows up here somewhere on my second monitor, there we go. What's it called? Yeah, FortressCraft Phoenix, dev stream number 8, Unpinking the Pink. So right now I am rewriting a shader. Is that working? I don't think that is. I think that one might work. No, that's not working. So it's sample reflected cube map is the one I want to use. There we go. That's what we want to see. Whoa. So this is the thing. Sometimes I just want something to be shiny. It doesn't need to be correct. It just needs to be shiny. Now, I don't know, and we'll find out in a moment, whether or not the normal map's just going to work. I'm going to have to do some sample texture. See here, I can say it's a normal map. I don't know why I can't do that for that though. If I feed that into the normals, that can just work. Now, of course, it's not. Oh, wait. Oh. Is that working? It's hard to tell. Also, what is that massive? Oh, right. Okay, because the texture doesn't actually line up. Like it never has. I've just never noticed before. If I bring up the inspector here. That doesn't tessellate at all. Should do, doesn't. It's preferable to use cube map text. Yeah, I'm not doing that. This is fine. But I can't actually tell if that's working. Or whether or not I need to modulate. Ah, yeah, there we go. Object. Well, I need to pass that in. But it doesn't do anything. Actually can't tell if that's working. Genuinely can't tell. So that's great. This is one of the issues I have with Unity is sometimes I just it's like blind leading the blind. Like it's doing something. I don't think that's distorting the let's chat. Let's chat. Close all this stuff. I've got a cube I was using for something. So we'll just do a materials somewhere I'll have a mirrored chrome. Pure mirror, there we go. Alright, okay, pure mirror is in fact broken. Well, yeah, so amongst I'm looking into a fake cube map. That bit's working fine. The next thing is I need to make sure that it's distorting looking into that appropriately. That is something that is a pure mirror. It doesn't have anything to reflect. That's why it doesn't look very useful. But if I now call this fake mirror, only with an F and not, I assign that to that one, and then right. Well, what I'll do is instead of that one, I'll use a grid of some sort, or a noise, or yeah, there we go. Yeah, I don't. Oh dear. I'm beginning to wonder if it is actually the other one. If I hook that up, I don't understand. What does that do? Like that just don't get me wrong. This one looks wrong. Like that doesn't look like it's reflecting. Yeah, you say it looks more like it's looking through it. Let's read the documentation. That's not very helpful, is it? Let's be honest. Sample cube map. Sample the cube map with a reflected vector. Samples the cube map. I don't understand why you'd ever want to sample a cube map. It's not reflection. I love that just doesn't do anything. I also don't understand why. There we go. Ooh, that's what we. Oh yeah, that's what I was going for. So there you go. That bit makes me happy. It might have been right before. But now that's visually what I was aiming for. I mean, that looks vile, but we can fix it. We can fix it. Again, it's not correct, like as in it's not physically correct what I'm doing, but that normal map does not look right. Like the normal map looks like that there, which is that looks good. No, that's the wrong one. Like that there, but here it looks really, really, really dark. I don't know why. Well, let us finish the shader off because we will. What we'll do, we will also sample the diffuse texture, and then we will blend between the shininess and the not shininess based on the mask. Do I have checkerboard? Yeah, it's three. Oh, that will. Okay. So what will happen is we sample the that color, and I have been starting to use the preview nodes as well a lot more. Make my life easier. So we sample all that stuff over here, and then just run it into a preview node here, and same thing. Otherwise, it just becomes very, very messy very quickly. And then what we'll do is we will blend between. This is the thing, I want to blend between that and that by a third one. But you just end up with this mess so quickly. I want to. Let's start with multiply, see what we get. All right, so if I pick the checkers here. No, I don't want to. I want to lerp, not a blend. I want to lerp between that and that. That's I want to lerp between that and that by. Hold on. We're going to do it from. Let's say the red. Yeah, that's not quite what I was expecting. Oh, well, I should probably help to hook it up. Kinda. I'll turn on the lighting if I can see what's going on. Thank you. What do we actually have as the diffuse? Yes, if I pick oh, I don't know. I'm a bit of a cat somewhere, I think. I've definitely got a picture for cat somewhere. Don't remember what it's called. I just need a. Oh, I know what I need. Like yeah, that'll do. That's not working. Why is that not working? Oh, it's nice and this is the thing. I just want it to be shiny. It doesn't need to be correct. I just want us to be shiny and reflective and just look cool. And this is shiny and reflective and looks cool. But I'm not seeing any instance that. Let me just put. Community scroll. Let me try I'm not doing something wrong. That should just give me a checker. Right. Yeah. So let's get a better checkerboard. Let's be honest. I really not have one. What I want to test this. So what I will want is I want a bright white corner, a white corner, a light grey corner, and a dark grey corner. Um, and a dark grey corner. What is going on here? Light. No. There we go. That'll give it right, and a bright one. Why do they keep assigning to the right? Oh, there we go. That'd be why. There we go. So we have light, dark. So where it's, let's say, dark, it should be very, very shiny. And where it's light, it should just be the diffuse. That's what I want. So that I can then determine. Yeah, that is working. Okay. So where it is, it's kind of, I probably want inverse lerp. Same again, there isn't a button marked inverse. This is one they've written it, but they've not used it. Because it's unlikely off the top of your head you'll get lerp or inverse lerp right. There's a 50% chance you'll get it wrong. That looks very wrong. That should be exactly the same, only the bottom right hand corner should be shiny, which is. Oh. Actually, no, I think that was right. I've got white as shiny and black as. Yeah, there we go. Okay, no, that is right. So if you put it to a mid grey, it will be reflecty. If you put it to white, again, I should make a note, shouldn't I? Oh, there is one. Oh, there was a way to make notes in these. I mean, I can just do this. I can just say group white in mask map is shiny. Cool. That is what I wanted. That makes me happy. So I will leave you with some giant. Hey, monks, let me go get some more coffee because my coffee is out, and I will come back and I will chat with you about the progress because it's all been exciting. Back in a mo with coffee. Yes, you didn't stay asleep. Right. Mm. You, Dora, you're a cat. So you asked where FortressCraft 2 is. I have no idea if you're a patron. I know I should know all my patrons, but I have too many. So I'm very bad at keeping the patron up to date. I'm better at keeping the Discord up to date. Where is FortressCraft 2? It is not where I hoped it would be, but it is exactly where I expected it to be. So, what do I mean by that? Though, I haven't done the glow yet. Let's not do the. Let's leave the glow for a minute. So, my goal, my schedule is to ship. Yeah, is to get FortressCraft Phoenix to be equivalent to FortressCraft Evolved by June, and I'm on track for that. You know, things are mostly working. I've done an awful lot of stuff. I've investigated stuff. I have a lot of things done, dusted, finished. The current. So, for instance, I've got the new mission system. I've got the new base. I've got the new intro sequence. I've moved to a new rendering engine. What I'm doing now is quite literally just making that rendering engine work, because oh my word, it is quite some effort to achieve this. So it's coming along nicely. There's lots of things to do, lots of problems, lots of issues, but nothing I haven't expected. Nothing has thrown me or made me go, yeah, I can't ship this. I just have, let me turn on the pink. I have just everything here, everything pink needs to stop being pink. That's my current goal, is to just work through every object in the game, stop it being pink. But that is a long process, unfortunately. As you see here, it's fine. There we go. That's the there's a material. Now I just need to make that material work, and it only takes 5 minutes, maybe, for most materials. I've got to find it, tweak it, make sure it more or less works. Sometimes I have to write a shader, as you've just seen. And as I posted in the FortressCraft 2 channel, I've got 4,000 of these to do. That's the issue. It's 4,000 materials. Now, I don't have to fix them all, but all the ones I had to fix by hand. Problem A. And problem B, wait, why is that? That shouldn't be reflecting. Problem B, reflecting, there we go. Problem B is I can't, even if I could do them all in one go, I need to find them. That's what I'm doing here. I'm just looking. I'm like, oh, what's that? What even is this? Sometimes, yes. Oh, the research station. I forgot the research station had a B. Oh, of course, that's when it signals the thingy. Working. Oh, I'm glad. Well, I never stopped working on FortressCraft because I wanted to. I stopped working on FortressCraft because I had to. I couldn't afford to continue. I probably should have stopped FortressCraft 5 years previously, but I really love the game. I really enjoy working on it. I really enjoy playing it. I enjoy it like I would enjoy somebody else's game, but with the extra power that I get to add stuff in. So as I said, the patronage is wonderful and amazing, and thank you to everyone who is a patron, but it's not enough to live on. I mean, it's something like £14,000 a year. Like it's good. Don't get me wrong. I'm super happy with it, but it's not enough for me to be able to dedicate full time to FortressCraft Phoenix. I would love to. Hopefully, when the game comes out, it will be making enough, so the Patronage Plus sales will be enough for me to focus full time. But right now, I have had to do other things. So I shipped a game called Mothership Forever to try and make a little bit of money. Done a little bit of contract work, stuff just so I can afford to live. Unfortunately, I have to I have to pay my mortgage. They get really angry if you don't pay your mortgage, and I haven't finished the game yet is not an acceptable response. So, although I would like to plow in 100 hours a week into this, I can't. I will. Well, I could for a while, and then I would run out of money. So, I need to continue doing the way I'm doing. So I am working on it, and I guarantee streaming once a week. Again, thank you if you're a patron, whoever you are right now listening. Thank you. Dora also appreciates it. Yeah. And I wish the patronage was about, let's say, 5 times as much, because then I wouldn't have to worry. I could hire full-time artist, full time, what's the word? Word will come to me. Full-time intern, but I can just get them to do this. So, hey, Monk, I'll be honest with you, and I'd say I try to sort of explain to people, what game development is, not what you think it is or what you want it to be. So I definitely lost a bunch of passion, not for FortressCraft, but for Unity. So I am trying to ship another game called Astro Trucks. Hopefully make some money. Good game. I'm really enjoying it, but oh my god, like fighting Unity's HURP has been a pain in the ass. Then I shipped a game called Mothership Forever, 2D game. Really enjoyed it. 2D, I was like, oh my goodness me, 2D is so easy. I can just sit here and get on with the game. I don't have to like fight. And then I've got HDRP, which is the rendering engine that I'm using here, which is very good. Oh, it is very, very, very good. But my god, I'm fighting with it constantly. So I've certainly lost enthusiasm for Unity, for HDRP, for the ease of writing games in this engine. All the reasons that I went to Unity in the first place. That's the bad bit. So yeah, but it's getting there. It's good. Part of what really helps is people just being in the stream. That really helps, like honestly, because I get to chat with people. I get to have them get excited for the game, all of that stuff. And that's cool because obviously I get to they get to be excited and I get to be excited. Everyone's happy. Right, did we really use SF30? Okay, I'm not going to argue. But get legacy. When it's a legacy shader, I don't understand why I cannot go. I should be able to go edit, rendering, materials, upgrade selected, built-in materials. Yeah, please. And it just goes, nah, doesn't even try. But yeah, I FortressCraft. I stopped on FortressCraft long before I lost my enthusiasm for the game. I love the game. There's so much I want to fix on it. So many new features I want to add. So many bugs I want to fix. It's just everything. But I need to do need to pay the rent. Unfortunately, that is the sad state of affairs. And I mean, FortressCraft's all right. It didn't sell badly by any means, but it didn't sell anywhere near enough, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. Like it sold all right. It didn't sell enough, so I just got a shit ton of money in the bank, going, yeah, whatever. Just gonna do some cool stuff here. Yeah, no way near. Right, so this material, this shader needs to change some more. So we've got lit fake cube map, and then we've got lit fake cube map colored, because it looks like I am in several places being clever and using the same material with different parameters. And we're gonna hope that Unity does the right thing, and that is optimal. Probably not. But yeah, Emma, why can't I? Why can't all I need is one millionaire patron, and I'm sorted. I feel terrible. People are like, oh, hey, I'm having to reduce my Patreon from $4 to $2. I can't afford it this month. It's like, oh, mate, don't worry about it. Like, you know, I want my patrons to be people who can, you've got spare money, you love the game, and you've got spare money, and you want to invest into it. And it kind of breaks my heart when people are like, oh, I've been giving you a couple of all I can afford, and I can't. Like, dude, just don't worry about it. But no, does anyone rich play my game? No. Apparently, I have a game played by poor people, so that sucks. What kind of games do rich people like? Oh, what's Dora doing? Oh, she's on top of my other chair. Stop attacking my clothes. Go back to sleep. You were cute when you were asleep. Full of the zoomies. I don't know why I call that glow mat. What I want is reflection. What do we call it? Refcol. Yeah. Oh, these last 2 years. Well, no, that's not true, A monks. That's the problem. Um, the last 2 years have been hard for a bunch of people, but for everyone that doesn't have as much money as they used to, other people have a lot more money. Well, not one to one. That's the problem. The problem is that for every one person, sorry, for every 10 people that haven't got enough money, one person now has 10 times more money. That is a lot of the problem that we've got with the cost of living crisis. It's not just the cost of living; it's the um, it's the balance of the wealth. So yeah, I went into my local motorbike shop the other day to get something done on my bike, and they said they'd sold 9 motorbikes so far this month, and they're like, this has just never happened. And I was like, yeah, it's different with the cost of living crisis. Some people have just got money to burn. Unfortunately, those aren't the people that play FortressCraft. That's the issue I've got. They were cool. So now I can make the reflection. I We do have a yeah. There is don't need a mask wrap though. I bet I set that up wrongly. Hmm. It's not what I expected. But the default for the mask map should be white. That seems. Why is there a? I can see a checker there. There's definitely a checker going on. Where in this is there a checker? Isn't that doing anything? What is going on? Mhm. I'm not saying I have an answer to the cost of living crisis, by the way. What I do. For a start, our government should tax corporations properly and invest properly into renewable energy, so every country becomes perfectly self-sufficient with energy, rather than relying on countries who can do what they like because they've got all the energy, like Russia. There you go. I've just solved all the problems in the world. Apart from Why don't this work? Is it because it's close to a light or something? It was working. I said be shiny. Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. I'm not pro green, anti nuclear. I'm anti coal. I'm anti burning stuff. Um, the problem with nuclear reactors, unfortunately, if a solar panel goes wrong or a wind turbine goes wrong, it's not bad. If a nuclear reactor goes wrong, however unlikely that can be, it is a problem. So your worst case scenario is pretty bad with nuclear reactors. The main problem with nuclear reactors, unfortunately, is just simply that it takes bare minimum 20 years to build a nuclear reactor for all the reasons involved. So nuclear reactors are no good. The best time to build a nuclear reactor would have been 20 years ago. Whereas a solar farm or a wind turbine farm, you can go from, oh, shall I put one here, to having it on the grid in 6 months. I'm colouring the diffuse, that's why. You can have it from that one side to the other in 6 months, and that is fine. So you can, in 20 years, you can commission an infinite number of solar because you can run them all in parallel. Whereas nuclear, people are very, very against nuclear. Now, Rolls Royce have these small form nuclear reactors, but don't think any are out yet. They keep on saying, "Oh, we've nearly got it right. We've nearly got it right." And that's like, yeah, that doesn't fill me with confidence. It's a bit like Mazda when they shipped the RX-8. The tagline they used was, it was brilliant. We've nearly got it right. We've nearly mastered the the Wankel engine. So it's like, what do you mean you've nearly mastered it? Like, ship it when you have mastered it, not when you've nearly mastered it. Are they actually building some? Oh, I did not know that. But how long will they take? How long is it? Are they fast breeder reactors? I can't remember what they're called now. How long does it take to build a small modular reactor? Yes, it could be built in 4 to 5 years. Brilliant. Or just build lots of solar panels and wind. So in the UK, we're doing something like 45% of our energy from wind overall. All we need to do is build twice as much, and there we go, done. We don't need any nuclear reactors or anything. We're quite close in the UK. We are quite close because we've got lots and lots of good places for wind energy. The wind always blows. Might not blow always on land, but it always blows out at sea. Is the old one. Oh wow, I haven't seen the one in ages. We're pulling 34 gigawatts right now. The slightly newer one. So right now, at this particular second in time, we are running 29% wind in the UK, 1% solar, which is fine because the sun has barely come up. What am my solar panel doing right now? Probably nothing of note. My solar panels are pulling. Drum roll, please. I can't wait for summer. Summer is. I'm just gonna be off the grid. Yeah, I'm putting 140 watts from the solar and 1,100 watts from my battery right now. So yeah, as it stands, the UK, if we had 3 times as much wind right now, only 3 times, if we had triple our current wind, we wouldn't be running any nuclear, no gas, no biomass. We don't need coal. Done. I don't understand why the government haven't done this because it's just, to me, it's a no-brainer. We have the technology. If I were, when the whole Russia thing kicked off, instead of what they did do, which was to literally, in the UK, I have no idea where you're from, literally they paid the energy companies to continue to overcharge us. So the consumers didn't pay more, but the government filled up the rest. Instead of spending that money, now I'm going to get the numbers wrong, but the UK government spent something like $20 billion pounds paying off the energy companies. And to compare and contrast, Germany spent more on solar and wind than it ever has last year, and they spent 2 billion. So instead of paying off the energy companies, find a big place, I don't know, an old power station, something, knock it down, build a wind turbine manufacturing plant there. Pour $20 billion into making wind turbines. And in what, 6 months, a year, I don't know how long, you have solved the energy crisis. I don't understand why we don't do this. I genuinely, well, I do, because the government's paid off by Shell and BP and everything, and I fully understand why. But the UK is so enormously well suited for wind power. I don't understand why we haven't gone. We were a world leader until 2021. We had more wind than anybody else. Now, not so much. As I said, we treble our current wind capacity. We're done. We've solved the energy crisis. We've solved energy at that point. We don't need to build 10 times or 100 times. Take what we've built, build it again, solved. And then we can stop, as we said, stop burning stuff. 40% of our power right now is from burning stuff, and 11% nuclear. And again, I agree. I wholeheartedly, in case that it's not clear, I wholeheartedly agree. But these small form reactors are still half a decade to build. Better than 20 years, not as good as 6 months. Sample reflected cube map. But yeah, I know a lot of people who are very anti-nuclear, and it's like I don't know why particularly, because it's well, it's scary. I mean, nuclear is scary. The worst a wind turbine can really do is catch fire. But we've had films and television shows about nuclear, and I have followed some of this. I'm fully aware it's nowhere near as scary or as dangerous as it has been, or as you might think. We have mostly solved the nuclear waste problem. I mean, a lot of it times we're just burying it in a mountain. Oh no, in the inside of the mountain is slightly radioactive. Meh. So what? Oh, I'm sure that's not quite how it was, but it's hard to tell. I'm wondering if I had normals, calculate, smoothing angle. If I put smooth angle up. Oh, there are options, yes. So why have our government gone, you know what we'll do is we'll pay the energy companies. It's like, what? Like, you found the money to pay the energy companies. How about you find the money to sort the problem out properly? So the our current government, the Tory government, they said, and this is brilliant, they said by 2050 we will build 7 new nuclear reactors. And I'm like, okay, what we're doing for the next 27 years then? The other solution, right? You don't even need to do the wind turbine solution. I've had problems with my solar panels that I won't go into. So I do not have an ideal setup on my roof. Even so, in the summer, I don't use the grid. I will not use any power on the grid. And I've got 3 electric vehicles. I work from home. I've got aircon. I am a huge consumer of electricity. And when the sun comes up, I'm just not anymore. So if the government mandated solar panels on every new house, each new house built is a net reduction in load on the grid rather than an increase. If the government mandated that every single public building, every school, leisure centre, shopping mall, all of those sort of things must have solar panels. Start with all the government buildings. Start with, and then every cinema, every warehouse. We have so much room to put solar panels. And if we did that, we wouldn't just solve the problem. We would become a world leader in energy export. And they're like, oh, it's built in China. I'm like, so China just poured a big bucket of money into solar in China. China is not a world leader in solar through any reason other than money. Um, and they are now very, very good at it because of all the investment into getting good at it. Whereas the UK just sort of gone, yeah, we're not doing that. So again, we can make solar panels in this country. Solar panels are primarily glass. Pretty sure we have a lot of sand. So yeah, if every single rooftop in the country had solar on it, we would have so much surplus energy. Yeah, I know we need batteries to do it tonight. I understand this. I'm not stupid. But it means that every house could then get a house battery. And that means that I'm burning through the battery right now because I'm up, the aircon's on, I'm working, my computer's running. My battery's going to last for another hour or so. I'm trying to get some more. In fact, one of the things I'll probably do after this stream, it's about another 2 or 3 hours, is I'll ring my plug in. Can I get some more batteries in my house? So I'd like to get enough batteries in my house so I entirely run on cheap rate electricity. And during summer, I will charge the batteries up on cheap rate electricity and then hopefully mostly supplement them with solar. Now, my plan is to just not come off the grid as such, but more or less just not to care anymore about the grid. Just I don't care what electricity prices do. Don't care if they go up. Don't care if they go down. That's not... I'm not sure if I'm particularly happy with that, by the way, but it will. It's a rubbish texture. Got the crisp. I kind of wonder if I should have a. Oh, I wonder if I've got a mid grey. That would work. That's now, yeah, so that's now 50% tech, 50% reflection, right? Let's just have all reflection. Yeah, well, I mean, the UK has surprisingly pushed the adoption of EV 5 years ahead of Europe. And I suspect that it's not because the government give a shit about being green, it's because there's money in it. And that means that we get to be a little bit ahead of the rest of the world on the EV adoption. The idea was that we would start building batteries and cars in this country. It's not going well, of course. But BP, was it Shell that they've had their biggest year ever? And then when so those climate targets we said we do, yeah, we're not. What are you gonna do? They pledge to them, but they go sort of on, nah, we're not. But they do know the writing is on the wall. For a tiny handful of people, they will prefer a manual petrol car. I have a manual petrol car. I love it. I love my electric car a lot more. But for nearly everyone who just commutes to work, everyone who just takes the kids to school, just goes to the shops, they will love electric cars. It charges up, it fills up with petrol at home. It has no gears. It's dead easy to drive. Even the crappiest electric car has a ride smoothness that is you could only get in a Rolls Royce or something, some years ago. So everyone who drives an electric car, the normal people who just, as Andy put it, just want an car. They're never ever going to buy diesel. Diesels are smelly, noisy, expensive. So the adoption will come, and Shell know this, BP know this. Imagine, if you will, right now everyone has an electric car, and you invent the manual diesel. Everyone will be like, yeah, why would I use this? Like, why would anyone ever use this. This is awful. Because it is. I mean, diesels are just rubbish compared to electric cars. It's just that that's what people are used to. I think, where did that go? Yeah, so as I said, BP know this. They know the writings on the wall. They are fully aware. And they've already said they now make more money through commissioning electric car chargers than petrol. Because there's a lot of tax on petrol and diesel. And you don't just, it's not just, you have to have a petrol station and you have to have someone there to run it. You have to run electricity to that petrol station. You have to then pay someone to drive a big tanker load of petrol there twice a day, and a load of diesel there twice a day, and then a big load of LPG there twice a day. You have to pay a lot of insurance as well because you're dealing with stuff that explodes. You Insurance for petrol stations is insane as well because it's full of stuff that can explode. So Shell make more money from electric cars. They've already converted one petrol station, like a big one, a really popular one, to electric, and they just said we're making more money. So Shell don't care. Shell don't love oil. All Shell love, or BP, whoever, they just love money. That's all they care about, and that's fine, So the best way to accelerate the green sort of transition to stop these things happen is simply to go electric wherever you can. And I'm not. I'm fully aware that it doesn't work for everyone, etc., etc., etc. But I have not. What's the word? I have not had to compromise on my Tesla. My Tesla is better than my Impreza. I wish it wasn't. I do. I love my Impreza, but I just don't use it anymore. It's just not as good as my What even is this? What am I doing? What is that? But yeah, I used to love my Impreza to bits. It was a superb car of its day, but it has. I'm not saying it's not aged well; it's aged fantastically, but it's not as good as an electric car. Oh yeah, no, absolutely. The most environmentally green thing you can do is just to use an old car till it breaks. Full stop. I mean, Amon, can you say you live on a farm and you ranching? So what? Okay, because my actual experience of driving an electric car is nothing like what I would expected. So, Kira, tell me. You say you live in a farming area. Why isn't an EV good enough? What are the issues? Because what I find is a lot of people they say something, and I just come up with a very easy solution. Because for example, I've got a fast charger at my house, and I can shove in 8 kilowatts of energy. Yeah, you say battery life. What part of the battery life is the issue? What are your requirements? And if you say, the thing is, usually you see people on the internet going, but I need to tow my 20,000 pound trailer 800 miles, and I can't stop for even to wee, and I just piss into a bottle when I'm driving, because you get these sort of like, dude, what are you talking about? But I mean, there are plenty of cars out there with more than 300 miles of range, and I'm gonna hazard a guess. It is just a guess. You don't live 300 miles from the nearest place to plug your car in. I might be wrong, but I'm gonna guess that you are less than 300 miles from a place to charge. And bear in mind, 300 miles realistically is what, 6 hours of driving at motorway speeds. That's a long drive. Now I know Americans and Australians, they do stuff a bit weird, but for me, 6 hours gets me from where I am in the north into the ocean at the south of the country. But what I found is there have been a lot of disinformation put out by petrol and diesel manufacturers, and the best thing is GM was one of them, and they put stuff out like, yeah, it's bad for the environment, children mine cobalt, all of the lies, and then, well, now they're like, can you guys stop repeating this, because now we're selling electric cars. So yeah, that's just amused me that they've had to sort of do a volte-face, if you will. But now I'm curious about your requirements. I mean, if your requirements are, I need to drive a fully laden truck with a massive trailer full of stuff, because you're starting to see the people are struggling to continue to argue that electric's not good enough. And someone found all these tweets, and it's obviously put out by a company, not Ford. Ford have got the electric F-150. They're very big on this. They're put out by, let's say, Toyota. And it's like, as an American, I need a full-size truck bed capable of, when I go to the shops, blah, 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 and I need to buy my shopping and steel. And he's like, sorry, what? There are a whole bunch of tweets so obviously paid for by diesel truck manufacturers arguing that on a weekly basis, Americans need to haul raw steel in the back of their truck. So the arguments against it are just disappearing as they get better and better. But I'm honestly curious. I mean, seriously, Amonks, tell me more. Tell me what your situation is. Why wouldn't it work? Tell me, because for my uses, my Tesla is, I don't know, bloody hell. I could probably do a road trip with 3 people in the Tesla, taking turns to drive, and we would still be we'd still be the limiting factor. My bladder is the limiting factor when I drive my Tesla, not the battery. That ain't the bit that I worry about. So I'm really honestly curious why you feel it wouldn't work for you. But give me numbers. What is it you need that they can't do? And you might be right. Like I it's entirely possible that your particular requirement, whatever it is not. But I've been amazed when I've talked to people, and then I've just gone, you can buy a Peugeot 206 that does that. And they're like, really? Like, yeah. Because expensive in it's like 15 grand. I think the cheapest electric vehicle is 6K in the UK. Don't get me wrong, it's not very good. But if you're just taking the kids to the shops, sorry, the kids to school, not to the shops, then it's fine. But please, I'm not looking for an argument. I'm really, really, really curious. Right, the battery drains faster as more load is applied. Yes, that's true, but it's linear, unlike petrol and diesel, where it gets worse the higher your load. So it's linear. So using twice as much power uses twice as much power. But like, what is it you're pulling? Like, explain to me, as you would a child. Like, are you? I mean, because you said you live in a farming area, you do ranching. I live in the middle of the city. I've no idea what you mean. So if you are, so what do you say ranching? Do you mean like cows or stuff in the back, or you've got like a what's it call it, like a farm, and you need to go to different fields to do stuff? I know very little about this. I've played Farming Sim. That's about my lot. Cows, goats, and sheep. Okay, so you're not carrying anything heavy though in when you're ranching. Let's just say you bought a F-150. I mean, I wouldn't get a Model 3, but like there are plenty of electric pickups. But so like something like a Ford F-150, why wouldn't that work for you? How many miles do you do a day? Because I have driven off road, and I'm gonna hazard a guess. You don't go very fast. It's just a guess, having been off road. Because what is the killer for EVs is wind resistance, not speed, more than anything else. So when you're driving at it's the same thing for diesel, you just don't notice. But if you're driving at 25 miles an hour, the wind resistance is 1. If you're driving at 50 miles an hour, double the speed, the wind resistance is 4. So each doubling of speed is a quadrupling of wind resistance. But I'm going to hazard a guess. If you're pulling a trailer full of animals, you're probably, over rough terrain, you're doing 10 miles an hour or something like that. Is that a fair guess? But how many miles do you do a day? Because what I like doing with this, because I'm that special kind of nerd, I like doing the maths, you see. I have no particular opinion on a lot of things. I just like to know the truth more than anything else. And I'm really curious whether or not, don't get me wrong, an F-150 is fucking expensive. I'm not suggesting you scrap all your vehicles immediately run out, because that's not cost effective. Although, if you do a lot of miles, it's shocking how quickly the fact you ain't paying for a diesel adds up. It's certainly in the UK, where, oh my God, we have some of the most expensive fuel in the whole world, which is a shame. But I'm really curious, how many mile or kilometers, I do know, if you're Australian, how many miles do you do a day, and how fast are you doing that? Now, towing does hurt range, does in a diesel, but it's the speed that hurts it. It's not really the fact you're pulling a lot of weight. It's the fact that you're pulling a lot of weight at highway speeds. That really hurts, but that's just physics. Hey, Monks, tell me how many miles you did today. I want to do the maths. I love this stuff. Because this is what happened before I bought I've got an electric motorbike. And they just did the math. They said, how far do you drive a day? And then they said, right. And how much do we pay for you at this much? And they just work out what not the break even point, but they said, let's just say you have it for this long and you try and sell it. It's got 10,000 miles on it. Nobody wants a motorbike with 10,000 miles on. No one gives a shit about an electric car with 200-300 miles on, because it's just kind of a nothing. You drive 300 miles a day off road with a trailer full of animals every day. What the fuck do you do for a living? That's crazy. But that's an entire working day. 300 miles. If you're doing 50 miles an hour, that's still 6 hours. That can't be right. Not your worst case scenario, like your average scenario. Surely it can't be that high. Again, I don't work on a farm. I'm definitely not calling you a liar. That seems insane to me. I'm working, by the way. I'm assuming so, but that can't be right. So you can't. What? Please explain to me why, please. I don't understand. So you would get up at 9 o'clock in the morning, get a trailer full of animals, drive for 6 hours, drop the animals off. No, you can't, because you'd only have 3 hours there with a full load of animals and 3 hours back. Like, this just seems like I don't. I'm not calling you a liar. I promise. I just don't understand any of what you said. I don't understand how you can do that many miles in a day. I mean, you can't. I mean, that's 2 days. That's surely 2 days of work. 300 miles, because you can't go quickly, on rough terrain with a what's it call it? With a van load of animals. I hope. But I mean, what you're talking about here, I'm gonna, from my personal experience, that sounds like a how can I put it? Very rare, very, very, very rare. You're talking about 1% of not even that. You're talking about 0.1% of road users. I mean, that sounds insane. Obviously, that is crazy, because it's a lot of people, when they say, I do ranching. I've talked about this before, and they go, well, how many miles do you do a day? And they go, I don't know, 25 miles a day, because they're off road. They're not going quickly. They're mostly bouncing along fields. And I just had to say, because I've got an electric motorbike, and I travel My round trip to the arcade is something like 15, 20 miles, something like that. So it means I need to charge the bike about once every 6 weeks. Like, it just doesn't need it because I'm not going quickly. So it's the speed that's the killer more than anything else. Can I do? Oh, that's a shame. I wonder which channel it's used for alpha. Hmm. But yeah, I mean, from what you're telling me in your case, not only does that sound possibly not suitable for an electric car, but your choice of vehicles that will achieve that, you must be really limited on. And I'm also going to hazard a guess, you're having to fill that up constantly. For 300 miles under full load at motorway speeds, you're going to get what? You're filling up every single day? See, at that point, the other bit becomes more important, the cost of fuel. So we've got the Tesla Semi that's coming out, and it's everyone has gone onto it for one big reason. It's not because it's environmentally friendly, none of that shit. It's because if you drive a long distance haulage vehicle, um, yeah, a big one, you're going to save $250,000 a year on fuel if you get a Tesla semi, and that's the reason it's happened. It's nothing to do with being green, none of that. It is purely, oh my god, we're going to save so much money. And you know, Coca-Cola have got massive chargers, massive batteries, massive amounts of solar, so it's going to be even, pardon me, it's going to be even less than that. And that amuses me because I mean, I did not buy a car to be green. I bought a car in no small part because there are tax incentives, and I had to do some tax-related gubbins just because it's better. It's just better. And there's no nothing about being it's cheaper, it's better, and it's better for the environment. There's no like disadvantage. It doesn't make such a cool noise as my Impreza, but you know that's just the nature of it. I can't find the material for this, you know. Ah, magma board base detail diffuse. But yeah, what you're describing sounds like a again, I'm not accusing you of being a liar. It just sounds way, way, way out of the realms of average, normal, regular road usage. You know, way, way outside. At that point, hey, I'm back. Limiting. I think the stream would have probably just stopped for you there briefly. It doesn't seem to have a bump map. Ah, there we go. But yeah, obviously with a lot of situations, if you've got a ranch or something, you know, you have a lot of land, and at that point, you have a lot of places to put solar. So if you're using a large amount of energy on your uh, you know, a lot of money on your vehicles, when EVs are right now, EVs they're not much more than a normal vehicle. They're a bit more still, but they ain't a lot more. Not like they were. So you've now got the situation that when they're more or less on a par, you might as well get the EV because then you can charge at home or you know, at work. You can charge overnight, and I mean, I. So when you say, you do 300 miles a day, fully laden, at motorway speeds. That just seems mind-boggling. Like, have I done 300 miles in a day before? Let me check. I may have the other week. Let me just do a quick look on the maps. Maps. Because I did a big journey the other day in my Tesla, and it just destroyed me. Yeah, so I did a that journey the other day. I had to go see my friend who's in hospital in Cardiff. All right, that's 5 hours and 233 miles. I mean, I could do that in one charge in the Tesla. I didn't because I can't drive for 5. No matter how much self-driving help, like, no way. But you do that daily? I mean, you can't. Obviously, you have to do 150 miles and 150 miles back. Otherwise, you'll end up 5 hours away from your work. It's not that I disbelieve you. I just don't understand how the bloody hell that works. Because 287 miles, if you're doing 70, that's it's 4 hours. It's almost exactly 4 hours. If you're doing 70 the whole way, which is certainly the UK is challenging, shall we say? And then you've got to come back again. Man, you need to get another job. That sounds terrible. But yeah, these are you are the people where, I mean, electric will work. I mean, assuming that it's wherever you go, you can charge when you're there. And I'm assuming you don't do 4 hours solid without stopping for, a call of nature. So I went from Leeds to Brighton last year, and back again. So 250 miles in the Tesla, 500 miles, and we stopped at probably every third supercharger just to top off. Not because the car needed it, but because my passenger needed to use the toilet. So we stopped a lot. Some of them are nicer than others, but at no point, I don't think we dropped below 60% battery life. We just did it because we're not against the clock. We're not trying to gumball it. We're driving from A to B. Actually, that's not the route at all. What I actually did was even worse than that. That was the route we took. Yeah, 350 miles. But at no point did I come eat it below 60% because I need to stop. I need to stretch my legs. I need to grab a drink. I need to have a wee. Sometimes I just need to not stare at the road. So when people start saying, "Oh, I go to visit my relatives and I drive 24 hours straight through," and it's like, dude, that sounds awful. And same thing with motorbikes. People are like, "Oh, I need to drive 500 miles on my motorbike and then immediately charge up and do another 500 miles," and it's like, that sounds terrible. Like, I've gone long distance on my motorbike before, but I'd rather not overall. Not that I don't like riding my bike, but after a couple of hours, quite frankly, I'd like to be anywhere other than on the bike. I'm happy for, going to have to charge the bike up for 20 minutes. And it's like, actually, can you charge it for a bit more than 20 minutes? Because everything hurts. Actually, I'll show you again. So it's interesting in the UK because it is different. Obviously, I don't live where you live. I did a journey about 5 years ago when I was a young man. So I went from Southampton to Penzance. No. Don't talk about Hoovie's garage. I know who it is. I know the video. I follow him. So I did that journey on my motorbike there and back in a few years ago. 4 hours, 200 miles. Now, in theory, it will do it in one tank. So on the way back, I think I got to Exeter. It was about 2 hours in, and I stopped for a break. Then I got here, and I stopped for a break. Then here. And by this point, I'm stopping at every petrol station, just going, I hurts. The bank's got plenty of petrol, but you're stopping. Yes, do you want to talk about Hoovie? I know Hoovie. Hoovie's a great bloke. Now, Hoovie, he makes videos because this video went mega viral. The right wing picked it up as the example of the left gone mad and all of this stuff. And Hoovy kind of had to do a video going, you guys realize I make these videos to be interesting, right? Like, you guys don't think that this stuff just breaks down so reliably each week for the video. So he said he purposely didn't preheat the battery. He was doing 85. As I said, speed is the biggest killer, and he purposely loaded the trailer wrong to make it drag. He wanted to make a video showing how bad the range was, because people get very angry about that, and then you get video hits. But it went mega viral, and he's like, in his next video, he sort of went, I think it was Josh Rogan. No, that's a Curry. I think it's Alex Rogan, the guy that got done for lying about Sandy Hook. So what the fuck anybody believes him is insane. But he picked it up going, Hoovy, one of the top towing review channels on the internet. And Hoovy's like, what? No, this is the first time I even mentioned towing. But he just wanted to make a point. But Alex Jones, that sounds right. He wanted to make a point, and that's fine, but he's doing it for the hits. It wasn't an actual breakdown. And even in a diesel or a petrol car, the range you get of 65 miles an hour versus 75 is big. The range of 65 versus 85 is huge, and Hoovy was doing 85 the whole way on purpose in order to make the video. Hoovy also did a thing. They were like, it was they bought like the cheapest luxury sedans available on the market, and he bought a knackered Tesla, and it had a bunch of range on it. It was all right, but then they're like, hey, we're not going to take the highway and follow the where there's superchargers. We're going to take the back roads, and they just drove it till it ran out of energy. It was like, well, yeah, but no one would ever do this. Like, this isn't something that somebody would choose to do, because that would be insane. But again, it makes for good YouTube views. And the best bit about that video was because they bought these two of them had knackered old V8s, and Hoovy had the Tesla. And it was really, really funny, because at one point they're going up a hill. They are up in the mountains, and petrol cars do not do very well when there's not much air, whereas electric cars love thin air. So he ended up basically pushing these other V8s up the hill with the Tesla, just bumping them over, just shoving them up the hill. But yeah, this is the thing. Lots of people, they will make YouTube videos for the hits, as opposed to any sort of truth or realism behind it. That's why I love to talk about people about this, because I like to talk about the reality, not the what's the word? Not the YouTubiness. Because my first experience of charging my Tesla, I went from where I live, I went all the way down to Oxford. I arrived at like 10% battery, 20% battery, and I was like, all right, I'm going to be here a couple of hours charging. Oh, okay, fine. So I went in, plugged it in, went in, I had a wee, grabbed a coffee, grabbed a Subway, went back to sit in my car for a couple of hours. I was going to watch Star Trek. I was going to watch School of Chocolate on Netflix. And I get back to the car, and it goes, bing, 80%, we're ready to go. And I was like, what? I haven't even started my sandwich, let alone go. So I was just like, all right, charge up to 100% then. Like, okay. And I have seen this, and that's been my experience, is I'm never waiting for the car. It's always waiting for me to get on with it. But I had to laugh because there was a great article about how Teslas are bad for you. And basically it said, it was, if I can find it now, Model Y, bad for you, rushed ditto. And they basically said that, against what I said, everything you do on the internet just doesn't, oh, can I find it? So basically it's like, we did a road trip, but we ended up having to scoff our food, and then Like, you can take your dog for a walk, like while you're waiting for it to charge, but you have to run. Like, you have to be really, really quick. But yeah, my experience with driving. So there's a couple of people on YouTube, one called Aging Wheels, one called Technology Connections, and they did it, and they said we're doing a road trip on our iNEC 5, and they kind of apologized halfway through the video, going, "It's quite boring, really. Like everything just works." So if you're expecting some sort of ooh, it's all gone wrong, like we're just driving from A to B. And again, I mean, when I take people out in the Tesla, drill diffuse, okay. Again, it's just been get out, plug in, go in, have a drink, have a sandwich, get back in the car, carry on driving. Done. There's no excitement at all, to be quite frank. It's really quite boring. Like, I wish it was exciting, but it's just not. All right, base main, okay. I mean, I promise you 100% I am not a Tesla fanboy. I will happily go over things I hate about the Tesla. But you need to be aware that starts with the phrase, I don't like the reversing noise. Because mostly the Tesla is brilliant. I don't care what people say on the internet. I really don't. But it is mostly absolutely brilliant. I have so few complaints. It's a smooth ride. It's quiet. It's quick. It's not just quick. It's holy shit quick. It is so quick. It is. I mean, I know there were issues with the early Model S's 10 years ago, built in America's build quality, but I don't have one of those. I've got a brand new one built in China. It's fine. It's as fine as every other modern car, which is it's shit. It is shit. Every modern car is shit. Anyone who argues that has not gone around modern cars. They're all poorly built, mass produced things compared to the cars of the past. But and I get people saying, "Oh, the cheap interior," and I'm sitting in this. Remember, I have a 1998 Type R Impreza. Compared to that, my Tesla is basically a Rolls Royce. So, it's got nice soft white materials. It's got wooden in the dash. The seats are very plush with. And again, I see these comments online, and I'm like, what are you comparing this to? What, dude, what are you driving? Can I come and sit in your car? Because I've got a mate of mine. He's got a Jag. He says a nice Jag. And I'm like, yeah, it's all right. If I were going to have a car, let's say the car costs £20,000, for sake of argument. Let's say it costs 20,000, and now let's say I have an extra 20,000 to spend on the car, and I can spend it on the interior, the exterior, or the driving, the ride quality, all of those things. Tesla did the right thing, so they made a $20,000 car, and BMW then spent $20,000 on soundproofing and fucking Alcantara leather and all that stuff. Tesla then spent $20,000 making the car better. That's the difference. So it might not have such posh materials as a more expensive car. It doesn't have. But I've looked. I can get bits of the car replaced with Alcantara leather. It's not much. It's like £800. And so I went, you know what? I'm good actually. I'm happy with not doing that. It's Esmit's Mr. Chicken. He's got a Jag, and it's very nice, very Pirish. It's very fun. But I was just amused. I went, eh. I mean, I've been in Ferraris, Lamborghinis. I've been in Aston Martins and Bentleys, and it's not. How can I put it? It's not better. It's just made out of more expensive stuff. Like, oh great, so this material cost blah 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 rather than blah blah blah. it's just more expensive. Like, right. Wait, what? Why is this? All right, okay, memory saver. Now, bear in mind, Monks, I have almost entirely my knowledge of EVs is almost entirely Tesla, which do have a fantastic charging network, and that does need to be noted. So the UK overall does have a good charging network. People complain about it. It's actually pretty good. And I took my Tesla on track last year. And I was a bit worried because there wasn't a supercharger nearby. I think this nearest supercharger was 20 miles away. So I was worried I would get through the whole battery really, really quickly and then run out of power and have issues. So I did my research, little research. There are 34 electric chargers within 2 miles of the racetrack. So I'm like, all right, I said, that's not a real problem. Is that right? Is that right, texture? No, not a real problem. And at the end of the track day, anyway, I said I had half a tank, so I just went home. I am heel good. Yeah, I get a little. I did physio. I have the most boring scar. I have a little friction burn on my right forearm. Everything else, 100%. And it took me about 6-8 weeks to get back on a bike. And I got rid of that bike. Well, I broke one. I replaced it with insurance, and then I then traded in the replacement bike. So I had a 1400 Ninja replacement. I traded it in for a Zero, which is just so nice. It's such a lovely and beautiful bike to ride. I love the 1400. It was a gorgeous bike, absolutely fabulous looking. But you can't use it. It doesn't have any tech or anything like that. It's like, it exists. It's mad. The Zero looks like a little commuter bike. It's nearly as mad. That's the best bit. It's like only a hair away on torque and drive, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful bike to drive, and I've really enjoyed it. But yeah, I say I've got 2 electric bikes and my V twin. So I'll keep my V twin for a while because the noise of it does make me grin. Does bring a big grin to my face. But I'll see how much I use it over the next year. And if I end up not using it that much, I will probably trade that in, and then I'll be left with just my smart car. That'll be the only petrol car I've got left. But yeah, I mean, I've joined some like electric car groups and stuff, and the thing is, I haven't met anyone in reality, only on the internet, who've had an electric car and then gone, oh no, I missed the noise, I want to go back. What normally happens is you get into a petrol car and you're like, oh God, I've got to change gear. Ugh. Like I actively, when I'm comfy on my cruiser, I've got to change gear. Like I actively, what's the word? Resent having to change gear. I don't want to change gear. I'm enjoying the go fast. I want to keep going fast. I don't want to have to keep fiddling with a bunch of controls every so often. I just want to. I'm there for the what's the word? I'm there for the torque, not the acceleration. Sorry, the torque, not the noise. What acceleration? What I'm talking about? I don't remember what that does. We'll come back to that because I don't actually know what that's supposed to do. But yeah, if it was crap, I would absolutely not be saying how wonderful it is. I have no love for Elon Musk or Tesla or any of that. This is just a really, really nice car, and I've driven a lot of cars in my professional career. A lot of cars in my professional career, Quite frankly, this is just one of the best cars I've ever driven, ever been in. It's certainly the quickest car I've ever been in. Yep, this is the multi-block miner. Yeah, so I'm still just trying to make FortressCraft 1 work in the FortressCraft 2 engine. And that's me. That's my goal. But I can't work out why it's shaded that way. Oh, I did a radial. Boink, there we go. And I might actually just make this go very slowly. Don't really like the fact it's no, not quite that slowly. I don't remember what this bit did. It's been a long time since I looked at a lot of stuff. I was like, yep, that's a thing. Do what it does, but we'll I carry on fixing these up. Thank you, A-Monks. I like to talk about the future. Diesel is not the future. If we had a new type of petrol coming, hydrogen's exciting, but the maths don't work out. I like talking about solar and batteries and hydro pump storage, about nuclear reactors, spaceships, the artificial intelligence. I like the future. I look forwards to the future. Hopefully it's not too fucking horrible. I like, whatever it is. And electric cars are the future. And no matter what anyone says, they absolutely are the future. There's no argument. You might hate them. That's fine. The rest of the world will just drive an electric car around and go, whatever. Oh man, who named this texture? And I just like all future conversations, all of them, like all of the things. Yeah, absolutely. Trains. Yeah. Hydrogen works all right for trains. It's not. It's the problem with hydrogen. It's very easy. If you take a certain amount of electricity and you make that electricity, put it into an electric car, and you make the electric car forward 8 miles, and then you put it in the same amount of electricity into a hydrogen car, the hydrogen car goes forward 1 mile. There is no circumstance under which hydrogen is better than electric. You can fill hydrogen up quicker, sure, but you need 8 times the energy